Good morning. Welcome to your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We have some nice conditions across the region this morning. Seeing some onshore breezes today out of the northeast, but overall, beautiful day across the area. Seeing lots of sunshine, temperatures in the upper 70s for highs, as well as no chance of precipitation or lightning today. So, some very nice weather across the region. Our current sounding from this morning, we see a freezing level at 13,800 feet, winds out of the northeast or east-northeast, low levels at 13 knots, and seeing those winds light and variable above that up to about 12,000 feet, and then we see our winds predominantly out of the northwest and only peaking at 20 knots at 25,000 feet this morning. Our current surface analysis, we do have an area high pressure over the northeast states ridging down the mid-Atlantic region, have a tropical storm Francine, will become a post-tropical system today, and seeing some of that cirrus cloudiness from that system stretch across Virginia into North Carolina and seeing that on the southern horizon today. Overall, great conditions for today, as well as looking like continued good conditions into Friday with a high pressure in control across our area. So taking a look at our current our satellite imagery, you can see here we do have a little bit of fog off to our north and to our east, but overall across our region, looks like good conditions today as far as our sky coverage goes. Could see a little bit of this cumulus cloud or stratus cloud move in off the ocean later today, but overall, good conditions in store. And taking a look at the HRM model for the next 48 hours, you can see good conditions today, no chance of precipitation. Once moving to Friday, some of the models are indicating we could have a shower moving the area off the water in the afternoon hours, but overall, chances look to be only about 15% of that occurring. And the HRM here does indicate the southern tip of the Delmarva could be seeing a better chance of those showers tomorrow. And looking at the GFS model for a long range here, high pressure in control today, and then tomorrow continued high pressure in control. It does slide off in the northeast slightly as a weak boundary moves through the region, and that could give us that brief pop-up shower tomorrow afternoon. And then for our Saturday, we'll see additional area high pressure start to build in from New England as a weak area low pressure develops off the southeast coast. Currently, this area low pressure is not being forecasted very consistently by the models. Some model runs and some models showing area low pressure develop and some not. So we'll continue to monitor this for next week. But overall, for the weekend, looks like good conditions, some breezy weather along the coastline, especially. High pressure builds in New England, even stronger on Sunday. Area low pressure off the south. It's going to give us a pretty good pressure gradient across the region. Most likely we'll be seeing winds around 25 knots from the afternoon hours right along the coastline. And then for our Monday, looking like we're going to have this area low pressure, according to the GFS model on this run, develop off to our south and east and possibly move up into the region on Tuesday, giving us some rainfall across the area on Tuesday and Wednesday. But right now, models are not consistent in what they're showing with the system. So we'll continue to monitor for next week. We could be seeing some needed rainfall by the middle of next week. Our risk chart for today, green chart across the board, high of 78 today, low of 66 tonight with those northeasterly winds keeping that overnight low a little bit warmer. We'll see northeasterly winds peaking today, northeast 9 to 14 knots, gusts of 21 knots, and then overnight northeast 6 to 11 knots. Our 24-hour terminal forecast, VFR conditions expected the next 24 hours with just increased cirrus cloudiness overall across the region by tomorrow morning. Our tides are running normal at this time, and looking at Friday into Saturday, Friday mostly cloudy, with slightly breezy onshore flow, very slight chance of a pop-up shower, as I mentioned. High of 79, Friday night partly cloudy, slight chance of low clouds, low of 66, and for Saturday partly to mostly cloudy, with breezy onshore flow, high of 78 degrees. So yellow for our winds on Friday, possibly gusting as high as 22, 23 knots. So can't completely rule out that gust of 25 knots. And then for Saturday, looks like we have a better chance of seeing a wind advisory across the region. So the next 7 days, looking like temperature regime very similar next 7 days. Temperatures in the upper 70s from today through Sunday into Monday, and then in the mid 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Overnight lows start to bump up a little bit into the mid upper 60s for the next 7 days. Our rainfall chances come on Tuesday and Wednesday. Looks like of next week. Could even see a shower as early as Monday. And it really depends on what that area low pressure does. If it does develop off the southeast coast and then move inland, or if it just kind of stays over the ocean or doesn't develop at all. So right now, not a lot of agreement in the models of what happens with that system and whether it does develop. So only keeping our chances of precipitation capped at 40% on Tuesday and Wednesday. And we'll continue to monitor that situation for early next week and mid next week. If we do have a area low pressure develop off the southeast coast, it could be subtropical, tropical, and will be weak in nature, but if it does become a subtropical, tropical low, it could get named by the National Hurricane Center and giving us some rainfall across the region for the early to next week. But as I said, we'll monitor that situation and hopefully have a better agreement in the models by early next week. Well, that's going to complete our 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. I hope everybody has a great day today. Back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.